There's something about getting older that makes us appreciate the little things in life, like a comfortable pair of shoes or a leisurely stroll in the park. But here's the thing. As we age, our feet often don't get the attention they deserve. If you're over 75, you might have noticed that your feet aren't quite as forgiving as they used to be. Maybe they ache more than they used to, or perhaps you've noticed some changes in the way they look and feel. Well, you're not alone. Our feet go through a lot over the years, and after 75, they need a little extra TLC to keep us moving comfortably. That's why today we're talking about 3 podiatrist-approved tips to care for your feet after 75. These aren't complicated or expensive, just simple, practical steps that can make a world of difference in keeping your feet happy and healthy. So, let's get started. First up, let's talk about choosing the right shoes. Now, I know many of us have a favorite pair we've worn for years. Maybe they're broken in just right, or they remind us of good times. But here's the truth. Shoes that were perfect for us a decade ago might not be doing our feet any favors today. As we age, our feet can change shape, arches may flatten, joints can stiffen, and padding on the soles of our feet can thin out. Wearing shoes that don't support these changes can lead to discomfort, pain, or even falls. So, what should you look for? A good senior-friendly shoe has 3 key features: support, cushioning, and a proper fit. Look for shoes with a wide toe box. That means plenty of room for your toes to move without being squeezed. A firm heel counter, that's the back part of the shoe, will help keep your foot stable, and a cushioned sole can absorb shock when you walk. And here's a pro tip. Shop for shoes later in the day. Feet tend to swell as the day goes on, so you'll get a better fit if you try them on in the afternoon. Now, the second tip is all about daily foot care. Our feet work hard for us, and just like any other part of our body, they benefit from a little regular attention. Start by giving them a quick once-over every day. Look for any changes: redness, swelling, cuts, or sores, especially if you have diabetes or circulation issues. Even small things like dry skin or calluses can turn into bigger problems if they're ignored. Washing your feet daily with warm, not hot water, and mild soap helps keep them clean and fresh. But here's something many people don't realize. Drying your feet thoroughly is just as important as washing them, especially between the toes. Moisture left in those little spaces can lead to fungal infections. And when it comes to moisturizing, skip the areas between the toes. Lotion there can create too much dampness. Instead, focus on the heels and soles where skin tends to get dry and cracked. Now, if you're like me, you might be thinking, I've been taking care of my feet for decades. Why change things now? But here's the thing. Our skin gets thinner and more fragile as we age, and our circulation might not be what it once was. That means small issues can escalate faster than they used to. A tiny cut that would have healed quickly in your 50s might take longer now. So being proactive with foot care can save you a lot of trouble down the road. And that brings us to the end of this first part. We've covered 2 important steps: choosing the right shoes and making daily foot care a priority. But there's one more key tip that can make a big difference in keeping your feet healthy, and we'll dive into that next. It's all about staying active in a way that supports your feet, rather than strains them. So, let's keep going, because happy feet mean a happier, more active life. There's a saying that goes, if your feet hurt, you hurt all over. And isn't that the truth? When our feet aren't happy, it can make everything, from running errands to enjoying a walk with the grandkids, feel like a chore. That's why the 3rd podiatrist-approved tip is so important. Keeping your feet strong and flexible with simple exercises. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Exercises? For my feet? It might sound a little unusual at first, but just like the rest of our body, our feet need movement to stay healthy. As we age, the muscles in our feet can weaken and our joints may stiffen up, especially if we've been less active. But the good news is, a few easy exercises done regularly can help keep your feet nimble and reduce discomfort. Let's start with something simple. Toe stretches. Sit comfortably in a chair, with your feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift just your toes up, keeping your heels down, then gently lower them back. Try this 10 times. It's a small movement, but it helps improve circulation and flexibility. Another great one is ankle circles. Lift one foot slightly off the ground and slowly rotate your ankle in one direction, then the other. This keeps those joints moving smoothly, which is especially helpful if you've noticed stiffness when you first get out of bed in the morning. And here's one more you can do while watching TV. Towel scrunches. Place a small towel on the floor in front of you and use your toes to scrunch it toward you, then push it back out. It's almost like giving your feet a little workout without even standing up. These exercises might feel strange at first, but over time, they can make a real difference in how your feet feel. Now, let's talk about something just as important: listening to your feet. After 75, our feet often send us little signals when something isn't quite right. Maybe it's a new ache that wasn't there before, or perhaps you've noticed you're shifting your weight differently when you walk to avoid discomfort. These aren't things to brush off as just part of getting older. Persistent pain, swelling, or changes in how your feet look or feel could be signs that it's time to see a podiatrist. For example, if you notice that one foot is consistently more swollen than the other, or if you have a sore that isn't healing, don't wait to get it checked out. Many foot problems, like bunions, hammer toes, or even circulation issues, can be managed better when caught early. And if you've been avoiding going because you think it's not that bad yet, remember, your feet carry you through life. Giving them the care they need now can help keep you moving comfortably for years to come. One last thing before we move on. Don't forget about your toenails. Thickened or ingrown toenails can be more than just a nuisance. They can lead to pain or even infections. If trimming them has become difficult, ask your podiatrist for help or consider having them professionally trimmed. And always cut them straight across, rather than rounding the corners. This helps prevent ingrown nails, which can be especially troublesome as we age. So far, we've covered 3 key ways to care for your feet: choosing the right shoes, daily foot care, and keeping them strong with simple exercises. But there's one more essential tip that ties everything together, and it's all about protecting your feet before problems start. We'll go into that next, because when it comes to staying active and independent, a little prevention can go a long way. So, let's keep going. Your feet deserve it. You know, one of the best gifts we can give ourselves as we get older is the ability to keep doing the things we love. Whether that's gardening, traveling, or simply taking a leisurely stroll around the neighborhood. And so much of that depends on having happy, healthy feet. That's why our final podiatrist-approved tip is all about prevention. Because when it comes to foot health, an ounce of prevention really is worth a pound of cure. Let's start with something that might surprise you. Your socks matter just as much as your shoes. After 75, our skin becomes more delicate, and our circulation isn't what it used to be. That means the wrong socks can actually cause problems. Avoid socks with tight elastic bands that leave marks on your legs. They can restrict blood flow. Instead, look for seamless socks made from breathable materials, like cotton or moisture-wicking fabrics. If you have diabetes or poor circulation, consider specially designed socks that provide extra padding without constriction. And here's a simple trick. Turn your socks inside out before putting them on. This puts the seams on the outside, reducing irritation on sensitive skin. Another important preventive measure is being mindful of surfaces. As we age, our balance isn't quite as steady as it once was, and falls become a serious concern. Indoors, Go barefoot as little as possible, even at home. A simple pair of supportive slippers with non-slip soles can prevent slips and protect your feet from stubbed toes or sharp objects. Outdoors, be extra cautious on uneven pavement, wet surfaces, or gravel. And if you're at the beach, water shoes can protect your feet from hot sand and sharp shells while still letting you enjoy the waves. Now, let's talk about weight management. This isn't about dieting or numbers on a scale. It's about being kind to your feet. Every extra pound we carry puts additional stress on our feet with every step. If you've noticed your feet aching more after standing or walking, even a small reduction in weight, if your doctor recommends it, can make a noticeable difference in comfort. The good news: those foot exercises we talked about earlier, combined with gentle activities like swimming or chair yoga, can help maintain mobility without putting excessive strain on your feet. Finally, one of the most powerful preventive tools is regular checkups. Just like you'd see a dentist for your teeth or an eye doctor for your vision, your feet deserve professional attention too. A yearly visit to a podiatrist can catch small issues before they become big problems. They can check for things like circulation problems, nerve changes, or early signs of arthritis, all of which are much easier to manage when addressed early. Think of it as a tune-up for your feet, keeping them in good working order for all the adventures still ahead. As we wrap up, let's take a quick moment to revisit what we've covered. We started with the importance of proper footwear, shoes that support and cushion your changing feet. Then we talked about daily care, from simple hygiene to watching for warning signs. We moved on to gentle exercises to keep your feet strong and flexible, and finished with prevention strategies to protect your feet for the long haul. Remember, these aren't drastic changes. They're small adjustments that together can make a world of difference. Your feet have carried you through decades of life's journeys, and with a little extra care, they can keep carrying you forward comfortably. So here's my challenge to you. Pick just one tip from today's video and try it this week. Maybe it's doing those toe stretches during the morning news, or finally replacing those worn-out house slippers. Small steps lead to big changes, and I'd love to hear from you. What foot care tips have worked best in your life? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your advice might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more practical tips for thriving in your golden years. After all, age is just a number, but happy feet? That's quality of life. Here's to many more comfortable steps ahead.